Dr. Lisa Warren stared at her computer screen. The coffee in her cup had gone cold hours ago, but she did not notice. Numbers and symbols filled the display in front of her. They meant something important. She could feel it. The Deep Space Communications Array sat in the middle of Nevada's desert. Most people drove past it without knowing what it did. Lisa had worked there for 8 years, listening to the stars. Tonight was different. Tonight, the stars were talking back. "Jake, come look at this," she called to her partner. Jake Morrison rolled his chair over from his station. His uniform was wrinkled from the long night shift. "What do you have, Doc?" Lisa pointed at the screen. "This signal came from Proxima Centauri. It's not natural. Someone sent this on purpose." Jake leaned closer. The signal looked like organized patterns, not random noise from space. "Are you sure it's not just some new satellite?" "I checked everything. This came from outside our solar system. It's alien, Jake. We're looking at first contact." The two scientists worked through the night. They ran the signal through every computer program they had. Slowly, patterns began to emerge. The aliens had used mathematics to build a language. Smart move, Lisa thought. Math worked the same way everywhere in the universe. By morning, they had decoded part of the message. Lisa called Colonel Pete Davis at the Pentagon. She knew he would not believe her at first. "Colonel, this is Dr. Warren at Nevada Array. We need to talk. It's urgent." "What's the situation, Doctor?" Lisa took a deep breath. "We've received a message from aliens. They want to make contact." The phone went quiet for 10 seconds. Then Colonel Davis spoke again. "I'll be there in 4 hours. Don't talk to anyone else about this." When Colonel Davis arrived, he brought a team of experts with him. They filled Lisa's small office with laptops and equipment. Everyone worked together to decode more of the message. The complete message was simple and friendly. The aliens called themselves the Kethver Collective. They said they were peaceful traders who wanted to welcome humanity to the galactic community. They offered to share technology and knowledge. All they wanted in return was friendship and cooperation. "This seems too good to be true," Colonel Davis said. He was a careful man who had fought in 3 wars. Lisa nodded. "I thought the same thing, so I kept digging into the signal." She pulled up another screen. The main message was easy to find, but there's more data hidden underneath, like a secret layer. Jake helped her explain what they had found. The hidden information was detailed files about Earth. The aliens had been watching humanity for decades. They knew about human cities, military bases, and weapons. They had maps of Earth's resources. Most disturbing was a classification system. The aliens had labeled Earth as a Class 7 death world, and humans as apex predator species. Extreme caution advised. "What does that mean?" Colonel Davis asked. Lisa translated more of the alien text. "They think our planet is extremely dangerous. They're afraid of us. But their message says they want to be friends," Jake pointed out. Colonel Davis frowned. "People who are afraid of you don't usually want to be friends. They want to control you." The team spent 3 more days analyzing the message. They found coordinates for a meeting place near Neptune. The aliens wanted to send a diplomatic ship to meet with human representatives. They promised to come in peace, but the more Lisa studied the hidden files, the more worried she became. The aliens had detailed information about human military strength. They knew which countries had nuclear weapons. They knew about secret military projects. No peaceful explorer would need that kind of information. Colonel Davis made a secure call to Washington. Within hours, the message reached the highest levels of government. President Helen Martinez called an emergency meeting of the National Security Council. Lisa found herself in the White House Situation Room, explaining first contact to the most powerful people on Earth. The president listened carefully to every word. "Dr. Warren," the president said, "in your professional opinion, are these aliens trustworthy?" Lisa looked at the decoded files spread across the table. No, Madam President. I think they're lying to us. The friendly message is fake. The real information shows they see us as dangerous animals that need to be controlled. The Secretary of Defense spoke up. What do you recommend? Colonel Davis answered. We meet with them as requested. But we go in armed and ready. If they really want peace, they won't mind our caution. If they're planning something bad, we'll be ready to fight back. The President made her decision, set up the meeting. But I want our best warship and our best people there. If these aliens think they can trick us, they're about to learn why. Earth is called a world. Lisa felt a chill run down her spine. She had spent her career hoping to find alien life. Now that she had found it, she was afraid of what would happen next. The aliens thought humans were dangerous predators. They might be right about that. 3 weeks later, the alien ship would arrive at Neptune. Humanity would be waiting for them. The stars had finally answered humanity's call, but the answer was not what anyone had expected. The galaxy was about to learn that when you threaten a death world, the death world fights back. The message that started as an invitation would become a declaration of war, and humanity would show the universe exactly why Earth deserved its dangerous reputation. Admiral John Blake stood on the bridge of the USS Valiant, humanity's most advanced warship. Through the viewing window, he could see the alien vessel approaching. It looked nothing like the ships in science fiction movies. The HFY ship was smooth and white, shaped like a giant egg floating in space. They're requesting permission to dock, reported Communications Officer Kate Miller. Granted, Admiral Blake said, but keep our weapons ready. Beside him stood diplomat Susan Clark and scientist Dr. Rick Stone. They would handle the talking, while Blake handled security. None of them knew what to expect from humanity's first alien visitors. The airlock opened with a soft hiss. 3 aliens stepped through. They walked on 2 legs like humans, but were taller and thinner. Their skin was pale blue, and they had large dark eyes. The leader wore what looked like formal robes. Greetings, the alien leader said in perfect English. I am High Coordinator Vashti, of the HFY Collective. We are honored to meet the people of Earth. Susan Clark stepped forward. Welcome aboard. I'm Ambassador Clark, representing the United Nations and all of humanity. The aliens presented gifts, small devices that could translate any language instantly. They showed holographic displays of their homeworlds, beautiful planets with crystal cities and peaceful beings. High Coordinator Vashti spoke of the wonders of galactic civilization. We represent 40 species across 12 star systems, Vashti explained. Our society is built on cooperation and mutual benefit. We share resources, knowledge, and technology. War is unknown among us. Dr. Stone asked technical questions about their ships and technology. The aliens answered freely, describing faster-than-light travel and unlimited energy sources. They offered to share these technologies with humanity. All we ask in return is that Earth joins our collective, Vashti said. Together, we can explore the galaxy and spread peace to new worlds. Admiral Blake listened carefully. The aliens seemed friendly enough, but something felt wrong. Their ship was too advanced, their knowledge of humanity too complete. They answered questions too quickly, as if they had prepared for everything. During a break in negotiations, Dr. Stone pulled Blake aside. Admiral, I'm getting strange readings from their ship. What kind of readings? Energy signatures that don't match what they've told us. Their ship has weapons, powerful ones, but they claim to be a peaceful trading vessel. Blake frowned. Keep scanning. I want to know everything about that ship. Meanwhile, Kate Miller was monitoring alien communications. She had learned to recognize HFY transmission patterns from studying the original message. What she heard now made her blood run cold. Admiral, she whispered urgently. They're talking to other ships. Multiple vessels, positioned throughout our solar system. Blake felt his stomach drop. How many? At least 20, maybe more. They're trying to hide their signals, but I can detect them. The negotiations continued, but Blake was no longer listening to the aliens' promises. He was thinking about enemy ships hiding near Earth. The friendly meeting was starting to look like a trap. Dr. Stone's scans revealed more disturbing information. The alien ship carried enough firepower to destroy a city. The devices they claimed were gifts contained scanning equipment that could map human technology. Even their translator devices were recording everything said aboard the Valiant. The breaking point came when Kate intercepted a transmission from the alien ship to their hidden fleet. She decoded it quickly and ran to Admiral Blake with the results. "Sir, you need to see this immediately," she said. Handing him the translation, Blake read the message and felt his blood turn to ice. The transmission was orders to prepare for planetary bombardment. Target coordinates included Washington, Beijing, Moscow, and every major city on Earth. The aliens were positioning themselves to destroy human civilization. Blake made his decision. Security teams arrest the alien delegation immediately. Alarms rang throughout the ship. Armed Marines surrounded the three aliens, who seemed shocked by the sudden change. "What is the meaning of this?" Vashti demanded. Admiral Blake held up the decoded message. "The meaning is that you lied to us. You're not peaceful traitors. You're here to destroy us." The alien's calm expression changed. The friendly mask slipped away, revealing something cold and calculating underneath. "You were not supposed to detect our fleet." "But we did," Blake said. "Game over." Vashti straightened, no longer pretending to be humble. "You cannot stop what is coming. Our ships are already in position. Your primitive world will fall within hours." "We'll see about that," Blake replied. Dr. Stone's continued scans revealed the true nature of the Kethver ship. It was not a diplomatic vessel, but a command ship designed to coordinate attacks. The aliens had been using the negotiations to finalize their assault plans. Kate Miller intercepted more transmissions between alien ships. The messages revealed the Kethver's true strategy. They had done this before, many times. They would arrive at primitive worlds claiming to be peaceful traders. While the locals were distracted by promises of technology, Kethver forces would position themselves for attack. "They've conquered dozens of worlds this way," Kate reported. "They stripped the planets of resources and turned the survivors into slaves." Susan Clark, who had been trying to understand the alien mindset, finally grasped the horrible truth. "We're not the first. This is how they've built their empire. They pretend to be friends until they can attack without warning." Admiral Blake contacted Earth immediately. "This is Admiral Blake to Earth Command. First contact is a failure. The aliens are hostile. Repeat, the aliens are hostile. We are under threat of immediate attack." The response from Earth was swift. President Martinez authorized full military response. Every space-capable ship humanity possessed was ordered to prepare for combat. The alien deception had failed, but now the real fight would begin. Vashti watched the human preparations with something like amusement. "Your species impressed us with your Deathworld reputation, but you are still primitive. Our technology is thousands of years ahead of yours." Blake smiled grimly. "You're about to learn something about Deathworld species. We don't give up easy." As the USS Valiant prepared for battle, human ships throughout the solar system received their orders. The aliens had expected to fight a defenseless planet. Instead, they would face the combined might of a species that had spent thousands of years perfecting the art of war. The peaceful first contact was over. The real introduction between humanity and the galaxy was about to begin with fire and fury. President Helen Martinez stood in the White House war room, surrounded by military leaders and screens showing the entire solar system. Red dots marked alien ships hiding behind asteroids and moons. Blue dots showed human vessels racing to intercept them. "How many ships do they have?" the president asked. General Amy Foster, head of planetary defense, checked her reports. "We count at least 30 alien vessels. They're spread out from Mars to Saturn. Our intelligence was right. They were planning to hit us from all directions. What do we have to fight them with? Every space-capable ship we can find? Military vessels, research ships, even some civilian craft with weapons mounted on them. Total count is 47 ships. The president looked at the numbers. Humanity was outnumbered, but not by much. More importantly, the aliens had lost their element of surprise. Give me Fleet Admiral Grace Turner. Admiral Turner appeared on the main screen from her flagship, the USS Liberty. Madam President, the Earth Defense Force is ready for combat. Admiral, you have full authority to defend our planet. Show these aliens what happens when they threaten Earth. Yes, ma'am. We'll make them regret coming here. The first battle began near Jupiter. Captain Ben Taylor commanded the USS Defiant, a small but fast attack ship. He had studied the alien vessels and found their weakness. They flew in predictable patterns, following what seemed like computer-programmed routes. All ships, this is Captain Taylor. Don't fight them like they expect. Use guerrilla tactics. Hit them fast and run. Make them chase you into the asteroids. Taylor's ship darted between the rocks of Jupiter's asteroid belt, firing at alien vessels and disappearing before they could respond. Other human ships followed his example. The aliens, programmed for orderly battle formations, struggled to adapt to the chaotic human tactics back on Earth. Dr. Lisa Warren worked with a team of hackers and computer experts. They had captured alien communication equipment from the HFY ship. Now they were learning how alien computer systems worked. Their technology is advanced, Dr. Warren explained to General Foster, but it's too logical. They build everything according to mathematical patterns. That makes it predictable. Can we hack their systems? We're already doing it. Every time they send a message, we learn more about their network. Give us a few more hours, and we might be able to disrupt their communications. The breakthrough came when Commander Roy Webb led a boarding party onto a damaged alien cruiser. The ship's crew had abandoned it after taking heavy damage from human fighters. Webb's team found the ship's computer core intact. This is better than Christmas, said the team's computer specialist, Tech Sergeant Carol Hayes. Their entire database is here. Fleet positions, tactical plans, even maps of their home worlds. The captured information revealed shocking truths about the HFY Collective. They were not the peaceful confederation they claimed to be. They were parasites who conquered weaker species and stripped their worlds of resources. Earth was just their latest target. They've done this to hundreds of worlds, Webb reported to Admiral Turner. But here's the interesting part. Most of their victims didn't fight back. The aliens are used to easy victories against helpless planets. Lieutenant Colonel Emma Price studied the alien tactical data. She found patterns in how they fought. Rigid formations, predictable responses, no adaptation to changing conditions. They fight like machines, she told her staff. They can't handle chaos or unpredictability. This information spread quickly through the human fleet. Captains began using deliberately confusing tactics, fake retreats, random attack patterns, and impossible maneuvers that broke every rule of space combat. The aliens, programmed for logical warfare, could not cope with human creativity. Captain Mike Phillips commanded a captured alien vessel, crewed by volunteers who had learned to operate the strange controls. He used the ship to approach an alien formation, broadcasting HFY identification codes. This is crazy enough to work, Phillips told his crew. We look like one of them, so they won't shoot until we're right on top of them. The plan worked perfectly. Phillips' disguised ship flew right into the middle of an alien formation before opening fire. The confusion allowed human fighters to attack from multiple directions. 3 alien ships were destroyed before they realized what had happened. Dr. Rick Stone, working from a captured alien laboratory, made another crucial discovery. The HFY had collective decision-making systems that required consensus before taking action. While this made them efficient in peaceful situations, it caused fatal delays in combat. They literally can't make fast decisions, Stone explained to Admiral Turner. Every tactical choice has to be approved by multiple commanders. But human ship captains can act instantly. This weakness became the key to human victory. Captain Lisa Rodriguez led a squadron of fighters against an alien command ship. Instead of attacking in formation, each pilot acted independently, creating a swirling chaos of movement that overwhelmed the aliens' ability to respond. They're trying to calculate responses to all our ships at once, Rodriguez reported. But we're moving too randomly. Their computers can't keep up. The tide of battle began to turn. Human ships, smaller and weaker individually, proved superior when fighting as unpredictable swarms. The aliens, accustomed to orderly conquest, found themselves losing ship after ship to human ingenuity. Major Tom Anderson coordinated ground-based missile strikes against alien ships that came too close to Earth. Using modified space launch systems, he sent waves of nuclear missiles at the enemy. The aliens shot down most of them, but some got through. Every hit counts, Anderson told his crews. Even if we just damage them, it forces them to retreat and regroup. That gives our space forces more time to work. The battle raged for 18 hours. Human losses were heavy. 12 ships destroyed. Hundreds of lives lost. But alien losses were worse. They had lost nearly half their fleet to an enemy they had expected to defeat easily. High Coordinator Vashti, still imprisoned aboard the USS Valiant, watched the battle reports with growing alarm. "This is not possible," he told Admiral Blake. "Your species is primitive. You should not be able to resist us." Blake smiled grimly. "You made two mistakes. First, you thought being advanced meant you were better fighters. Second, you picked a fight with a Deathworld species. We've been killing each other for thousands of years. You're just the latest enemy on our list." As the alien fleet began to retreat toward the outer solar system, humanity realized they had won the first round. But intelligence from captured ships revealed a disturbing truth. The Kethver Collective had much larger fleets at their core worlds. This was just a scouting force. "They'll be back," Admiral Turner warned the president. "And next time, they'll bring everything they have." President Martinez made a decision that would change human history. "Then we don't wait for them to come back. We take the fight to them." The defense of Earth was over. The war for galactic freedom was about to begin. 6 months after the first battle, space around Earth looked like a massive shipyard. Human engineers worked around the clock, building new warships and upgrading existing ones with captured alien technology. Dr. Rick Stone had become the most important scientist on Earth, leading teams that reverse-engineered Kethver weapons and shields. "The aliens made their technology too perfect," Stone explained to President Martinez during a video conference. "Everything follows logical patterns. Once we understood the patterns, we could improve on their designs." The new human ships were strange hybrids. They used alien faster-than-light drives but human weapon systems. They had Kethver shields but human tactical computers. Most importantly, they were designed to be unpredictable in ways that alien minds could not comprehend. Fleet Admiral Grace Turner commanded the largest space fleet in human history from her new flagship, the USS Earth's Fury. 200 ships filled the space around Mars, preparing for humanity's first interstellar war. Intelligence reports indicate the Kethver are gathering their main fleet at their capital system. Turner briefed her captains. Over 500 ships, including their largest warships. "They're not taking any chances this time." Captain Mike Phillips raised his hand. "What about their subject species?" "The intelligence we captured showed they rule over dozens of conquered worlds." "That's our opportunity," Turner replied. "The Kethver Empire is built on fear and oppression. If we can prove they can be beaten, their slaves might rebel." The plan was ambitious and dangerous. Instead of waiting for the aliens to attack Earth again, humanity would strike first. They would hit Kethver outposts and free the enslaved species, building a coalition of rebels to fight the Empire from within. The first target was Europa Base, a HFY military installation built on Jupiter's moon. Colonel Pete Davis led the assault with 5,000 human marines. The aliens had never faced a ground attack before. Their usual strategy was orbital bombardment followed by occupation. They built this base to defend against ships, Davis told his troops as they prepared to land. They never imagined anyone would be crazy enough to assault it with foot soldiers. The battle for Europa Base was brutal, but brief. Human soldiers, trained in Earth's harsh environments and countless wars, proved superior to alien troops who had never faced serious resistance. The base fell in 6 hours. More importantly, Davis' forces freed 2,000 alien prisoners from dozens of different species. These beings had been enslaved by the HFY for generations. They were shocked to meet humans who fought their oppressors. "You fight the HFY and win?" asked Zara, a representative of the Nari people. Her species looked like large cats that walked upright. "This is not possible. They are too strong. Watch us," Davis replied. Commander Sarah Hughes led the next phase of the operation. Her task force of 50 ships attacked HFY supply convoys, disrupting their ability to support their growing fleet. Using hit-and-run tactics, human forces destroyed alien logistics throughout 3 star systems. The psychological impact was as important as the military damage. Species that had been enslaved for centuries began to see that the HFY could be defeated. Rebellions started on a dozen worlds. Captain Lisa Rodriguez discovered the most valuable intelligence yet when her ship captured a HFY data courier. The ship's computers contained complete maps of the alien empire, including the locations of concentration camps where entire species were held as slaves. "There are millions of sentient beings in these camps," Rodriguez reported to Admiral Turner. "If we can free them, they'll join our fight." But the HFY were adapting too. High Coordinator Vashti, still imprisoned on Earth, had been replaced by War Commander Vekmer, a more aggressive leader. Under his command, the alien fleet began using human-style tactics, unpredictable movements, and sudden strikes. The war's most costly battle occurred at the Kepler 442 system, where Captain Ben Taylor led 40 human ships against a HFY fleet of 60 vessels. The aliens had learned from their defeats and no longer flew in predictable formations. "They're copying our tactics," Taylor warned his fleet. "We need to stay one step ahead of them." The battle lasted 8 hours and ended in human victory, but at terrible cost. 15 human ships were destroyed, including Taylor's USS Defiant. He died ramming his damaged vessel into a HFY command ship, saving his fleet from destruction. Taylor's sacrifice became a rallying cry for human forces throughout the galaxy. Remember, the Defiant became the motto of the Earth Defense Force. More importantly, his final attack had destroyed the aliens' most experienced battle commander, Major Tom Anderson, made the breakthrough that changed the war's direction. Working with freed alien slaves, he established communication networks that allowed rebel groups to coordinate their actions. Using human radio technology combined with alien quantum communicators, the resistance could plan system-wide uprisings. The HFY control their empire through fear. Anderson explained to a gathering of resistance leaders, representing 12 different species. "But fear only works when you seem invincible. Every human victory proves they can be beaten." The first coordinated rebellion occurred in the Tau Ceti system. 5 enslaved species attacked their HFY overseers simultaneously while human ships provided support. The system was liberated in 3 days. Dr. Stone's weapons program achieved its greatest success when he developed chaos missiles, weapons that used random targeting algorithms impossible for alien computers to predict. Unlike traditional missiles that flew toward their targets in straight lines, chaos missiles changed direction constantly, according to patterns based on human emotions and creativity. The Kethver can calculate the trajectory of any logical weapon, Stone explained. But they can't predict something based on human feelings and imagination. The weapons proved devastatingly effective. Alien ships that had easily shot down previous human missiles found themselves helpless against weapons that defied mathematical prediction. Commander Roy Webb led the most daring mission of the war, a direct assault on a Kethver core world. His fleet of 30 ships, crewed by humans and freed aliens, working together, attacked the heavily defended planet of Kethver Prime. This is where they trained their commanders, Webb told his mixed crew. If we can disrupt their military academy, we'll cripple their ability to replace losses. The attack succeeded beyond all expectations. Not only did Webb's forces destroy the military training facilities, they broadcast messages from freed slaves throughout the Kethver communication network. For the first time, the alien empire's own population heard the truth about their government's actions. Panic spread through Kethver's space as their subject species realized they were not alone in their suffering. Rebellions erupted on 50 worlds simultaneously. The empire that had conquered the galaxy, through fear and deception, began to collapse from within. But the Kethver leadership was not finished. War Commander Thekmar gathered every available ship, over 800 vessels, for a final assault on Earth. He planned to destroy humanity's homeworld and end the rebellion by eliminating its leaders. If we kill the humans, he announced to his fleet, the other species will submit again. These Deathworlders are the source of all resistance. Without them, order will be restored. Admiral Turner received the intelligence about the massive alien fleet with grim determination. Earth had less than 300 ships available for defense. The odds were worse than they had ever been. We're outnumbered 3-1, she told President Martinez. But we have something they don't, allies. The message went out across the galaxy to every species humanity had freed, every rebel group they had supported. Earth was under threat. The time had come to stand together against the Kethver Empire. The response was overwhelming. Ships from dozens of species began converging on Earth's solar system. The final battle for galactic freedom was about to begin. The space around Earth had never seen so many ships. Fleet Admiral Grace Turner stood on the bridge of the USS Earth's Fury, watching as vessels from 40 different species took their positions. Nari catfighters flew alongside human destroyers. Aquatic Deltan ships moved in formation with freed Kethver rebels who had stolen their former master's vessels. Final count shows 600 Allied ships, reported Communications Officer Kate Miller, who had been promoted after her heroic work during First Contact. The Kethver fleet numbers 800, but they're not used to fighting this many opponents at once. Turner nodded. The alien empire had always fought against single worlds or small groups. They had never faced a galactic coalition united by a single purpose. Freedom. War Commander Thekmar's fleet arrived like a swarm of angry insects, spread across a formation light minutes wide. His ships were larger and more advanced than anything the Allies possessed, but Turner had learned that technology alone did not win wars. All ships, this is Admiral Turner, she broadcast to the massive Allied fleet. Today we fight not just for Earth, but for every world that wants to be free. Show them what happens when the galaxy stands together. The battle began at the edge of the solar system. Captain Mike Phillips, now commanding a ship crewed by humans and 3 different alien species, led the first wave of attacks. His mixed crew worked together with the efficiency that came from shared suffering under Kethver oppression. Human tactical doctrine, Nari fighter instincts, and Deltan technical skills, Phillips told his crew as they engaged the enemy. Let's show them what cooperation really looks like. The Kethver had expected to face the same chaotic human tactics that had defeated them before. Instead, they found themselves fighting a coordinated force that combined the best qualities of dozens of species. Human creativity merged with alien precision. Nari hunting instincts guided human weapons. Delton engineering expertise enhanced human ship designs. Dr. Rick Stone watched the battle from Earth's command center, monitoring the performance of his latest weapons. The Chaos missiles he had designed were now being manufactured by teams of human and alien engineers working together. The weapons were more effective than ever because alien minds had added their own unpredictable elements to the targeting systems. The Kethver computers can't process this much randomness, Stone reported to President Martinez. Every species thinks differently. When we combine all our thought patterns, we create something no logical system can predict. The first phase of the battle went badly for the Kethver. Their rigid formations crumbled under attacks that came from impossible directions. Ships that should have been predictable suddenly changed tactics as crews from different species shared their unique perspectives on combat, but War Commander Deckmer was not finished. He ordered his fleet to target Earth directly, ignoring the Allied ships and focusing on destroying humanity's home world. If we eliminate the human leadership, he broadcast to his forces, their coalition will collapse. All species will submit once their inspiration is gone. 200 alien ships broke through the Allied lines and headed for Earth. General Amy Foster activated the planet's defenses, orbital platforms, ground-based missiles, and every fighter that could reach space. But Earth's defenses had been built to stop the original invasion force of 30 ships, not 200. That was when Commander Roy Webb made the decision that saved Earth and ended the war. Leading a force of 50 Allied ships, he flew directly into the approaching Kethver fleet. Instead of trying to stop them, he targeted their command ship, where Deckmer was coordinating the attack. All ships, follow me, Webb ordered. We're going to cut off the head of the snake. The attack was a suicide mission. Webb's force was outnumbered 4-1, but they had something the Kethver did not expect: absolute determination. Human Marines, Nari warriors, and Delton engineers fought side by side aboard ships that were falling apart around them. Webb's own ship, the USS Liberation, took fatal damage just as it reached Deckmer's command vessel. With his ship dying around him, Webb made the same choice Captain Taylor had made months earlier. He rammed his vessel into the alien command ship. The explosion destroyed both ships and killed War Commander Deckmer. More importantly, it disrupted the Kethver fleet's command structure. Without central coordination, alien ships began making individual decisions, exactly the kind of chaos their logical minds could not handle efficiently. Admiral John Blake, commanding the defensive forces around Earth, seized the opportunity. All ships, target the confused alien vessels. They've lost their coordination. Attack now. The battle turned into a rout. Kethver ships, designed to work as part of a unified fleet, became vulnerable when forced to act independently. Allied forces destroyed over 300 alien vessels. In the next 6 hours, the surviving Kethver ships retreated to their core systems, but they found no safety there. Rebellions had erupted throughout their empire. Species that had been enslaved for generations were destroying their oppressors with weapons and tactics learned from human resistance fighters. Major Tom Anderson, coordinating resistance activities from Earth, received reports from across the galaxy. 67 Kethver worlds have been liberated in the past week, he announced to the president's staff. Their empire is collapsing faster than they can respond to. The final blow came when Captain Lisa Rodriguez led a combined fleet to the Kethver capital world. The planet's orbital defenses had been designed to stop external attacks, not a revolution from within. Freed slaves had sabotaged the defense systems, allowing Rodriguez's ships to reach the planet unopposed. "This is Captain Rodriguez to all Kethver forces," she broadcast as her ships took orbit around their capital. "Your empire is finished. Surrender now, and you will be treated according to the laws of war. Continue fighting and you will share the fate of your victims." The Kethver government collapsed within hours. Faced with rebellions throughout their territory and enemy ships over their capital, They had no choice but to surrender. The empire that had conquered hundreds of worlds fell in less than 2 years to a coalition they had never imagined possible. 6 months later, Dr. Lisa Warren stood in the assembly hall of the Free Worlds Coalition, on the neutral world of Haven, as Earth's first galactic ambassador. She watched representatives from over 100 species sign the Charter of Galactic Freedom. "We gather here not as conquerors," she addressed the assembly, "but as beings who believe that no species has the right to enslave another." The Kethver Empire fell because they forgot that freedom is the natural state of intelligent life. The former Kethver species were not executed or enslaved in revenge. Instead, they were given their own world and the chance to build a peaceful society. Many chose to join the coalition, working to repair the damage their empire had caused. President Martinez S., now recognized as the leader who had united the galaxy against tyranny, established the Galactic Protection Force. Human ships patrolled space lanes, ensuring that no new empire could rise to threaten smaller worlds. "We learned something important," Martinez told the Coalition Assembly. "The most dangerous response to a threat is not the biggest weapon or the strongest ship. It's the one that refuses to give up, no matter how bad things look." The galaxy had indeed learned why Earth was called a death world, not because humans were violent monsters, but because they were survivors who would fight for freedom no matter the cost. When faced with extinction, they had chosen to fight back with everything they had. Admiral Turner, now commanding the Coalition fleet, often reflected on how the war had started. The aliens had sent a message pretending to be peaceful while planning to enslave humanity. Humanity had replied with fleet and fury, but also with something the Kethver had never expected: the offer of freedom. To anyone willing to fight for it, the message that had begun as a trap became the catalyst for galactic liberation. Across the galaxy, species that had lived in fear for generations now looked to the stars with hope, and whenever new threats emerged, they knew that somewhere in space, human ships were patrolling, ready to prove once again that freedom was worth fighting for. The Deathworlders had kept their promise. They had shown the universe that the most dangerous thing in the galaxy was not a weapon or a fleet, but the idea that all beings deserved to be free. And that idea, once planted, could never be completely destroyed.